So as full-time travelers, we always get the question of, well, we get a lot of questions, but one of the questions that we get a lot is how do we create home whenever we're on the road? Today we're going to talk about the top 7 things that we do to create that home and how we sustain it. Check it out.
Welcome to the morning show with Jessica and Will.
We are traveling the world. We're on year 3. We've been asked a lot of questions as to what we do and how we do it.
How do we make money? What do we do about medical? What about the kids' schooling? All that stuff is coming.
But not today. Today's topic is just one of those items.
And a very important item, an item that often people ask us about, how we create home while we're traveling. If we're not taking the 4 walls and the roof with us, how can our kids possibly feel any sense of home? So today we're going to share those 7 things with you guys.
So item number 1 is traditions. Traditions start from before you leave. So take a huge stock in what you do before you jump into this travel life, because they're the things that you're going to first grab onto when you do hit the road. Number 1 for us is back to school dinners. When the kids go back to school, the night before they go back, we had this amazing tradition in which we would have this ultra festive dinner. We'd create hats, we'd have songs.
Yeah, the hats would have a theme. So for example, excuse me, when we were in Ecuador, we just did a whole candy theme. So I did a hat with gummy bears glued to it and gummy worms and chocolate and all this stuff. And in France, we took a baguette. We actually took a piece of bread and hollowed out the inside. And then I wrote France on the top, and they wore them through the dinner. And they really look forward to it. And we have a new one that we've added since we've been traveling. What's that one?
Which one?
Just go with it.
Which one?
Dream Day.
Dream Day.
October 6th.
October 6th. What's
Remember
October
the
6th?
day? The day we left the United States.
Oh my God, yes.
Yes, Dream Day. He remembers, right?
It's an important day in our life.
Those are our traditions that we've kind of brought with us from our, stateside life. And then we've gathered new traditions as we've traveled. So we do different traditions from, I don't think we have any from Costa Rica, but from Ecuador and from France. And the kids really look forward to them. It kind of brings a part of their home from when we lived in these different areas into our travel life and into the new places that we're venturing out.
Well, my favorite from Ecuador is New Year's Eve, where
oh yeah, yes.
On every New Year's Eve, people go out and they burn stuff. And this isn't like 4th of July where they're blowing up whatever they can get their hands on.
It's like a paper mache doll or something. Like it's made out of paper and plaster and all this stuff, and then they burn them on the side of the street.
The year we were there, Minnie Mouse got charred.
That was kind of traumatic for these American-born kids.
So we're not necessarily burning stuff on New Year's Eve, but we're finding something to represent that. We haven't come up with that yet, but the kids keep asking every New Year's Eve, what are we going to burn this year? Which is kind of scary.
We have a couple of traditions of our own, just as adult traditions, Will and I.
For instance, date night for us is a big thing. We get a local babysitter sometimes, and we go out for the evening. This is our time to recharge. We find a local place that we like. We always find, wherever we go, a local restaurant.
Yeah, a coffee shop, and then a place to eat dinner, and it just kind of connects us better. Yeah. Number 2, decorate and bake. This is my favorite one. Do you want to start this, or right?
I take this topic and I expand it throughout the entire creative space, because for me, baking is a huge creative challenge. If you have a chance to incorporate baking as a family, incorporate cooking as a family, incorporate artwork as a family, that is a huge way to infuse a ton of creativity and family unit.
And I think too, it brings up a lot of sensory stuff. So for example, cooking, the scent of pumpkin pie going throughout the house kind of jars a memory from the kids from the year they were here having pumpkin pie. And then with art, art just makes 4 walls come alive, and I think it's really great. We're not traveling with the artwork we've purchased over the years, or the kids' artwork from their childhood or sculptures. So we want to kind of create that sense of life and happiness.
If you have no kids, go out there and get a cooking class. Go out there and join a meetup.
Couples cooking. Come on.
We actually need to do that. We haven't really.
We do. A number 3 way that we create home while we're traveling is routine.
Routine.
And wherever you are, you have that routine in the world, right?
It's the thing that keeps you from traveling and the thing that keeps you traveling. It's breaking out of that comfort zone and creating a new comfort zone. For us, routine is a mainstay for the essentials of the unit. So for instance, reading to the kids at night is something we did religiously every night.
Every night, and we still do it to this day. I've always kept that reading consistent. Along with movie night, once a week we do movie night where we all eat in front of the TV and sit down to a movie and eat and snack and enjoy it. And that's part of our routine. Again, wherever we are in the world, right? You can take the book or the Kindle and you can take the movie or get it, you know, on your computer, wherever you are in the world.
Well, we modified a little bit. So when we talk about reading with the kids at night, we talk about movie night, we always try and include, not all the time, but we always make sure that we include a lot of movies and books about where we are and what we're about to do and what we're about to see. So there's a lot of history that can be learned while traveling. Supplement it with a book or supplement it with a documentary or a movie pertaining to that topic region, and it just makes the whole process a whole lot easier.
Yeah, that's a great point. Also, we do this thing at dinner every night, which is part of our routine called Best and Worst. So we each share the best and worst thing of our day, and that's been really, really great. You know, sometimes you're going through, you know, just because we live a travel life doesn't mean that we don't get into kind of funks and have long days and miss stuff. So, you know, having dinner together and connecting and then doing those best and worst every evening really brings out some interesting things about what's happened during everyone's day, right?
Since we're starting this business, there's been a lot of worst.
There's been a lot of, not that the business is worse, but just dinner has been kind of crazy lately. So
yeah,
not as quick leisurely dinners, but we will get there. We'll get back to it. Sometimes you have to take a couple steps back to go forward, right?
Time management is a tough thing to follow. Next topic is
for special items.
Items.
Oh, special objects.
We wrote down objects.
That's kind of, these are comfort items. Like for Largo, he has a blanket that his grandmother made him that he carries with him that he just loves for Avalon. It's a stuffed animal. For Will, it's
my camera gear.
I wasn't gonna say that, but if you're gonna just out yourself.
I am a tech junkie, and I am not afraid to admit it. I am also a traveling hoarder, which is kind of an oxymoron. But I carry the most that I can without exceeding my weight capacity on an airplane.
He carries the most he can in the family.
All the time. So these are the things that you carry with you wherever you go. For instance, the kids have a Ziploc bag, about what, a quart? A big freezer bag, and they load it up with Legos, and that is
whatever they want to bring with them.
Right, and that's their go-to wherever they go. Now, granted, things grow and things shrink as we go along because we collect things. We have birthdays, but we always revert back to
2 bags. They get 2 Ziploc bags. I mean, their stuffed animals and their blankets and their books and their art supplies aren't included in those 2 bags, and they're really great at it. I mean, I think when we started out. When we went to Costa Rica, they had 3 Ziploc bags each, and now they have 2, and they've kind of whittled it down on their own. You know, but I think it's, especially with the younger kids, they seem to need, you know, more special objects with them to kind of feel that. It's the smell and the touch and all that stuff. So.
But we'll be sure to include a video coming up on how we pack, because
for sure. And that's going to be a fun video.
That's just a tragic video.
I'm gonna have to do Will's version of packing in fast forward because it'll take all day.
So next item is keeping in touch with friends and family. So the hardest part of leaving is not being in touch with those who you know and care about the most.
I mean, I think that's the only hard part is missing those family and friends.
No, and missing food.
Yeah, there's some food we missed.
There's
some food we missed. Yeah, absolutely.
But in terms of keeping up with friends and family, there's a lot of opportunities out there for free nowadays with technology. It's amazing how you can carry a $1,000 computer in your pocket, which you can just, you know, like Star Trek, if I'm dating myself.
I think that's important too, specifically when you're leaving with kids who might miss the grandparents or something. It's really nice because you can almost carry the grandparents with you in your pocket, or their friends from school, and keeping in touch with those people creates home while you're traveling, you know? I mean, we're so fortunate with technology to be able to do this, and we use FaceTime and Skype and WhatsApp and WeChat and Facebook Messenger and
there's Viber, there's a whole lot out there.
I mean, we use it all, and so I think that's really important to stay in touch with family and friends, and it creates that sense of home. And for us, we've kind of created that sense of home all over the globe, every place we live, and then we keep in touch with people that we meet. And so, yes, it's hard to leave a place, but we're always leaving a place and always missing someone, right?
And you're always sharing your moments through Instagram or your posts on Facebook. There's a lot that you can do. You know, you can start a YouTube channel and show them what you're doing.
Who would do that?
No. It's a lot of work.
Crazy people.
All right, moving on. Number 6, family meals.
And I think this is I don't know if this is my favorite or second favorite, but family meals are really important. And we touched on that when we said the best and worst.
So working is always a difficult thing to ponder, because when you're trying to get work done and meals done and homework done and everything else done, meals is always the last thing you want to dedicate time to. For instance, I work right now US hours. So although we're in France, I start my day at 2 p.m. and I end around 11 p.m.-ish. Trying to squeeze in that hour for dinner when I'm in the middle of meetings is not easy, but I make that time. I squeeze in the calendar every day my lunch hour, which is actually my dinner hour.
Dinner.
Dinner.
And I definitely feel that void because Will and I used to get dinner ready together, and then we'd have a nice long meal with the kids. But this is what it is in France, and you know, we'll roll with it and change wherever we end up next. But I think the key point of this is that to have those family meals, you know, that time to reconnect, that time for everyone to chat, tell their best and worst, and then split up the responsibilities and clean up together. It's a really great time to have that sense of family and bonding and home together. You know, food bonds people together, and it creates community and family and home, and I think...
Especially with all that cheese.
And all the cheese.
All the cheese.
Okay, number 7. I think this is really one of, there's gonna be a bazillion videos on this because I'm really passionate about this. We're both really passionate about this. Making friends and entertaining wherever we go. I mean, that's what makes home a home, right? It's family and friends and being with the people you love. And
it's the connection outside the house and inside the house is which matter. This is the part where we're going to talk about how we're making that connection outside the house, building your community home.
Yeah.
Because it's not easy. So picture yourself in this fashion. So you're an American or you're a Brit or whatever you are. You're an English speaking person because clearly you're watching this. And you leave your home to go to another location and you don't speak the local language, but your kids do. Right. So we have to do everything in our power to make that community, make them feel like they have a connection to that location. And it's all about making friends, because if they walk away without having a single person they can say, man, I miss that person.
Right, they're not connected to it. I mean, that's what makes them want to go back to the United States, right? There's their family and their friends, and they feel that connection, right?
Right, and that's the hard part. So we do it a couple ways. We do it, the easy way, number one, is if you have a kid and they're in school, this is all about kids. We're gonna bring this to the adult side in just a second. But if you have a kid and they're in school, make friends with the parents. English is the most commonly spoken language in the world, and even if you're in France and they say no one speaks English, they all speak English.
And everyone says they speak a little, but everyone speaks a little more English, or a lot more English than we speak of any language wherever we are. And listen, no, it doesn't have to be in a country. Like for example, in Ecuador and Costa Rica. In Ecuador, Will spoke Spanish, obviously, but the rest of us didn't speak a lick of Spanish. And I am an aggressive pursuer of making local friends, almost psycho.
It's pretty bad.
But I send the letters out, and I invite people to parties, and I invite them over, and it, you know, even if I don't speak the language, I just roll with it. I figure out a way to make it work, and you can always kind of communicate a little bit. I'm incredibly, as you can tell, passionate about forming community wherever we are. I think it's really unbelievably important.
We had a US style Thanksgiving in Ecuador, and we brought in
40 guests.
40 guests. It was the most challenging thing we've ever done. So when you're throwing a party, you're doing it for two reasons. Number one, because you want to make those friends. Number two, you're not always going to be the first one to be invited to someone else's house because they don't know that you're out there looking to make friends.
Right, and once you open the door and welcome people into your home and they know that you're not crazy or whatever, excuse me, then they will invite you back, and then you'll start forming this great community.
So for the adults out there to create community.
The adults only. This is the adults only part.
There's a seedy part of this life, let me tell you. No, but seriously though. So apps, and more apps is the key. There is an app out there which is called Meetup. If you haven't heard of it, check it out. There's a Meetup everywhere you go, just about, and there's something in your community. If there's not, there's probably something in a community nearby. I've always been able to find a running app or a running Meetup everywhere to go. Bonappetour is another great one. It is, you go to someone's house and they feed you a meal. Of course you pay for it, but you get to meet someone with a local cooking background, and you get to learn how to cook local dishes, and hopefully you get to walk out with a great contact. Maybe someone that you can have a local connection with. I'm
really dying to do this one. I've seen it several times. There's a couple of different apps that fit this description, and I am really looking forward to doing this. Maybe we'll do it tonight.
Maybe we'll have the kids cook for us.
Tinder? Why is that on there?
The last one is Tinder. So if you're single and you like to mingle,
you're not.
If you're hot to trot, or if you're not, get out there and find someone. You know, a date doesn't mean a commitment, or I don't know, does it?
I don't know what it means anymore. I haven't been on a date in so long. Maybe it does.
Well, get out there and figure out whether you can meet people through online dating. Online dating is not as mysterious anymore. Those who do it probably know. I have no idea, but I'm guessing.
So that's it, guys. Those are the 7 secrets to creating home while you travel. At least our 7 secrets, and now they're not secrets anymore. But I just feel like it's really, I mean, you're taking your kids out of their comfort zone and everything they've known, or you're taking your spouse or your partner, or maybe you're just going alone. I think it's really important to kind of give yourself that pat on the back and make it as easy as possible. And easy as possible means taking home with you and creating home wherever you go. I mean, I'd love to hear how you, if you're a traveler, how you create home while you're traveling.
If you're still here after who knows how many minutes, thank you, number 1, for sticking around. And number 2 is, if you like this, there's a lot more coming. Make sure to hit that subscribe button.
I promise we'll get better. And I think also if you have topics you want us to cover, write them in the comments. I mean, we have a long list, but we're adding to that list anytime someone says, hey, tell us about this. So add what you want to know down there in the bottom.
All right, until next time.
Au revoir.
Happy travels.
How was it, you think?
Good.
You think it was too long? How are we doing?
How are we doing?
Yeah.
We're gonna have a lot of editing.
Okay. every
No, go ahead.
No, go ahead. No, you go ahead. No, you go ahead. No, you go ahead.
Are you really just checking out your eyes?
I'm like making faces. Look. I was gonna go like this above you, but then I thought, oh, he's doing so well if I do that, and he has to redo it. Like.
I like leaning forward.
I know, but then I look like.
Because I'm trying to get closer in.
I know, but people don't want you that close in.
Why?
Stay here.
They don't
want to see you. Hello.
All right. That's.